Hi, and welcome to Co-Creating with Cosmic Holly. Today we're looking at the last quarter moon in Pisces at 23 degrees 35 minutes Pisces, happening on June 8th, 2025. So the moon is squaring the sun and it's sextiling Uranus and Taurus. So Pisces is very permeable energy. It's also like a dissolving energy, a dissolution energy. So the lineup with this third quarter, the last quarter moon, is like a lot of letting go. Some of the questions are like, what are you taking into your psyche, and then sort of dissolving back out into consciousness. I wrote Pisces is dissolution energy. Last quarter moon says let go. The sextile to Uranus and Taurus can heighten feelings of intuition and instinct, and your psychic energy can be really high right now. Flashes of insight this time can be very valuable, especially for manifestation. I'd say because the energy right now, our psychic energy and our emotional energy, is really permeable during a Pisces moon, it gets heightened. So there's a tendency where we can feel overwhelmed by others, and we can feel overwhelmed by what's going on in our environment. So I say try to have a little bit of alone time if you can. I have a few suggestions for the energy at this time. If you can take a few minutes to meditate and do some breathing, that would be really good. A swim in the ocean. Pisces is like ocean energy. So swim in the ocean or in a lake or a swimming pool can help. Can really help to like let any excess feeling just kind of release. Can be cleansing. If you go swimming, I suggest you don't do that alone. Have a buddy. Put your feet and toes on cool grass if possible, or soak them in water with Epsom salt. Have a cool shower. So if you can't get into water, if you can have a shower where you imagine like rinsing away any energy that isn't yours, it just washing off of you. If you're lucky enough to actually experience a gentle waterfall, or you can imagine it being a waterfall, wow, it makes me think of, almost like 15 years ago now, I went to Portland, Oregon, and on some of the hikes that I went on, there were waterfalls, and I was able to go underneath the waterfalls, and it was really beautiful. It's extraordinary, but also be careful. Be careful if you go into a waterfall, and have some people people around with you as well. It's a very good time to pay attention to dreams. I would, over the next few days when you're going to sleep, see if there's a situation that comes up for you, or just in general asking for guidance, with the intention of remembering the guidance in your dreams, remembering your dreams. And then in the morning, as soon as you wake up, write the dreams down. Write down as much as you can remember. The guidance might not make sense right away, but over time, it may unfold. There's a lot going on astrologically right now, and I would venture to say we might feel a lot more sensitive to it while this moon is moving through Pisces. And I would suggest checking out Levine astrologer. Check out his YouTube. He gives like a day-by-day breakdown, and his style is he's a great teacher. So he's a really good resource, really generous resource. And another person, another astrologer who I really get a lot from is Pam Gregory. And she may not do the entire like day-by-day breakdown, but she does give some guidance in like how to handle the big energies that are happening out there. Those two astrologers are really knowledgeable and generous. So right now, the practical part of this this moon phase is it's a letting go time, right? So which goes really well with Pisces. So I'd say assess what you've done since the new moon in Gemini, May 26, 2025, and ask yourself, what is the theme of this cycle? What has come to fruition since then? So what have you committed to? What results are you reaping from actions you've taken over this time? What is out of your control? What were you hoping for that, maybe didn't happen? What seeds are you harvesting for the next cycle? And then what are your wishes and actions for the collective? There's a collective energy that's happening now too. So what have you noticed about what's going on in the collective? What would you like to have happen? And what are you able to do? Those might be some of the questions for your before you go to sleep as well. And then you can ask yourself the same questions. There's the lunar gestation cycle. This last quarter moon goes all the way back. It harkens back to the Pisces new moon of March 21st, 2023. It was like the very last degrees of Pisces going into Aries. And we have a lot of Aries energy happening right now with Saturn and Neptune have just moved into Aries. And so the new moon was from March 21st, 2023. And what has happened since then? We have the first quarter moon was December 19th, 2023. The full moon was September 17th, 2024, and that was a lunar eclipse as well. And the new cycle for the lunar gestation period is going to happen on March 18th, 2026. Oh boy, what the heck is she talking about? Well, whoops, great. So a card just jumped out while I said, what is she talking about? And we got the Lady of Vessels. So this is beautiful because Pisces is a water sign and it's the mutable water. So it's the most, I'm going to say it's the most changeable sign, the most, like I was saying, it's permeable. There's this this energy of change and picking up new feelings all the time, very psychic energy. The Vessels, the Lady of Vessels is this energy of coming into knowledge about emotions and like about feelings and about intuition. So it's a time to pay attention to what it is that you're feeling, because something new is coming through, and there may be a feeling of self-doubt because it's new. But what this is saying is like, you see this person standing on water and then balancing this vessel on their head. That takes a lot of skill. In fact, I'd say it's kind of, well, maybe even a miracle, right? So I believe that as a collective, we're experiencing some new feelings. We're experiencing like just new intuition, you know, and individually, you know, obviously we'd be, as a collective, we'd be experiencing that as well. I mean, Pisces is very collective energy, but it's also very individual. So taking the time to pay attention to the feelings, paying attention to messages, like I said, looking at dreams, maybe, you know, like spending time around water or in water. This is a time to, I'd say, slow down and allow this new information that's coming in to flow through you. See if you can like try it out, maybe just try seeing how it feels in different scenarios. If you can just let yourself experience subtlety. Right now, it feels a lot like we are constantly bombarded with new information and new programming, or like that is outside of us. This information is a welling up from within. I'd even say to, like, when you have a glass of water, if you could take the time to charge the water or bless the water, or whatever words you want to use, with love or compassion, perhaps with your intentions, like you're starting to think about what it is you want to bring into your life over the next lunar cycle, as well as, you know, and that's like part of it is a whole new thing, but it's also what you've experienced. And the Lady of Vessels is coming to a point where you're at a time in your life where you have experience, but it's not like totally out there in the world yet. It's like you've been like, we all come to points when we start to realize like we're learning something, or something new is emerging, and it's a time where it's, when I say new, and it can be very new, but it's like this new idea, this new feeling that needs your personal care. Like you're not running around sharing it with everybody, or sharing it with people who are naysayers or people who aren't loving, or God, the words on the tip of my tongue. Supportive, right? People who, if you're experience this on your own first, you know, before you start sharing with other people, and then before you share it with just anybody, allow it to be with people who are supportive. And if you realize that the people in your life aren't supportive, then it's time to seek out support. It's time to seek out support. Okay. Yeah, I mean, water, you can float in it. There's a very supportive energy to it, and it also moves, you know. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you, and I will come back next week with the new moon in Cancer. And we're going to be in a new season for the next new moon. How exciting. If you'd like a reading with me, please check out hollytroy.com/tarot. And you can see what I have to offer and reach out to me, and we will book a reading. Have a great week. Peace.